What's up, everybody? It's your boy Alex Dorfling here with your boy Jacob Dubs.
What's up, everyone?
And there's Cat right there.
I see Worm.
All right, and today we are talking about how to get over writer's block and help your creativity flow.
I don't claim to be the creator, but I'm a savior. I take the strange variables of human life and make something out of a crazy quilt.
So one way to overcome writer's block is to ignore your inner monologue. Just ignore that voice that's telling you not to do it, you're not good enough, or whatever excuse you're putting down, because when you push past what you were aspiring to do towards and then you judge yourself, it's gonna want you to not do it, because then you're gonna be like critiquing everything and then you're not gonna be as satisfied. And this goes for anyone who's any kind of artist, whether you're a DJ, a rapper, an artist who draws, or like someone who, you know, just like maybe martial arts even. You can be your worst critic, so you got to be nicer on yourself. So one thing I thought that was interesting was there was two people on YouTube when I was doing research. One said that using like writer's block is use it as an excuse to just kind of like goof around, not do things, just that way you can, like, you know, not get around to do it. And the other one said it purely doesn't exist. Alright, so Draco Dubs also has something to add about writer's block.
So about that, with that idea, I would say for some people, I guess writer's block doesn't exist because those people probably don't really have issues with writer's block. But and for a thing with like for it to be like an excuse to like whack off and just fuck around and shit, maybe if you're like you're like totally okay and like, you know, you're a productive person on the normal, and then like out of nowhere you decide, oh, I'm gonna just fuck around, you know, or like you're like a high school student, maybe just fucking around being stupid, yeah, of course. But like some people literally have writer's block to the point where like you said earlier, to like people who are like schizophrenic, or like people who have like Asperger's, or like or like people who have like
just people who are neurodivergent in general.
People are like neurodivergent and shit. People who have like traumas and stuff. You know, sometimes it's gonna be a lot harder to be productive when you're constantly thinking about things like problems and stuff like that. And people might think, oh, well, you just get over it. It's actually very hard to get over some of these issues. That's why that's why you made this channel in the first place.
Yeah.
This channel wouldn't be here if it was easy to get over.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's why we make videos like this to like teach people how to get over said issues in a way, you know, that it helps. So like, if the best way to get over it, if you have that if your writer's block is really bad and you have trouble getting down with music or anything, like with writing or drawing or like anything, even work, just being at work, you know, just kind of like basically take a break of said project. But if you're at work, you can't really do that. You just gotta kind of like push through sometimes at work. But if you're doing a project or something, you just push that aside for a little bit. And then maybe like if you're making music, you know, maybe listen to some different genres, listen to something you maybe have listened to a long time ago, get back into it maybe, you know, and then like you'll have ideas flowing. Like, trust me, if you're listening to the same genre like over and over and over every day, or the same thing some people listen to the same thing every day, then it's gonna get you know, stale, and you're gonna want to make new ideas. So sometimes it's always good to listen to new music. And for like people who draw, it's good to look at multiple different artists and like maybe discover some new artists if you're not feeling it still with the artists you already follow. It's good to have different, like, you know, like
different perspectives
and like inspirations in life to help inspire you to continue making things.
Also, bouncing back to what Draco Dubs said earlier, is like, yeah, some people who do get writer's block, like I noticed when I get it too, your brain feels fuzzy, and it's usually because, like you said, you're focusing on other things. So switching it up, like what you do on a day-to-day basis, can make things feel not so stagnant. And on top of that, also just like get moving, get outside, you know, because like
a little exercise or like a little a gym moment actually really helps too.
Yeah, it does. And so like just getting your blood flowing, doing something different, you know, going outside, getting some fresh air, getting some vitamin D, enjoying some nature, like honestly sometimes just taking that little break and doing like a little bit of exercise, or you can try meditation. Meditation is also another great way to just kind of calm your mind, get things reset, and then you can find that inspiration. And also it comes from just finding that motivation to do it in the first place, having that purpose, having that drive of why you started and why you want to keep doing it in the first place. Like the reason why you started is the reason why you're doing it. So if you have a purpose or reason for it, then that will push you to keep doing it. So if you don't have a reason, make a reason for it. Like put some meaning behind it that makes you work harder for something that you'll be proud of.
Don't do things that you don't want to do either. Like don't do it because it's trendy and it's gonna make you hella money or like hella fucking clout or whatever the fuck. Don't do it for that, because if you're getting writer's block because you're doing something you don't enjoy, stop that. Because that is not good for you. You want to make stuff that is good, that you want to make. You know, fuck all the stupid shit. Like sometimes trends are great. It's great to jump on some trends, but not all trends are like, you don't have to jump on everything so trendy to the point where you don't have any meaning. That's what, like, you know, being even like as an artist or anything, a musician, someone who does a project or anything and has problems with it, like, you know, that's what it is. It's a passion. So if you don't have passion for it, then that's not for you. You might want to find something that actually works for you.
Yeah, like you don't do anything. You could, like what Drake was saying, you can hop on trends, but like hop on trends that align with your values, that don't disrupt that. Because if you don't do things that don't align with your values, your body and your mind will tell you, and you'll feel regret doing that, because like, you're doing stuff that is not true to you when what you truly enjoy. You don't get that satisfaction unless you truly enjoy what you do. So you gotta learn to love yourself and love what you're doing. Also, when I was on YouTube, I heard about this story about this guy. I don't know his name, but basically he wrote every day, no matter good or bad. And he said that even with all the bad writing that you write, there is guaranteed something good to come out of it. So you can extract the good from all the bad stuff and make something really good out of it, because it's naturally going to happen. The more you just like say like write every day, or the more you keep practicing, the more easier it gets. So when you try new things, of course you're gonna suck at it at first, and it's not gonna be great. So you just have to learn to accept that, hey, it's gonna be messy, it's gonna be rough, it's not gonna be the greatest when you first start off, but you can always look to improve and ask for constructive feedback on what you can improve on. So that way you're like, oh, okay, and then when the connection hits, you'll understand what that other person was talking about. And so that can help you, you know, move forward and improve and look towards your next session of whatever you're doing, like your next writer story, or, you know, your next artwork, or whatever it is. You can look to see where you got constructive criticism and where you messed up, and you're like, okay, I see that, now I can improve, and then I can get over that writer's block a little bit easier, because now I have something I can look forward to improve on. You have anything to add, Draco Dubs?
No, it should be all pretty much.
Also, continue what I was saying earlier, like for rappers and stuff, like, and what we were saying earlier in the video as well, what Draco Dubs was saying, is that like listen to like different artists, because like if you listen to like different artists, like if you listen to different genres of music, or you like listen to like like Drake said, you get different perspectives, and that can help you get inspiration. So like for me, and I don't know about Draco Dubs, but as a DJ and like rapper, you know, sometimes you do get that writer's block and you're like, fuck, what can I do? Usually what helps me is just like look at other artists and see their flow, and then you can match that flow but create your own lyrics to it, and that could be authentic too, because you're still doing something that's like your style and your way a little bit, but you're using a little bit of innovation, creativity to make it a little bit different, unique, make things interesting. So don't do things the same way each time, because if you're doing the same thing the same way, it's not going to change. And also your environment plays a key role in that too, and how you be creative. So like if your room is really messy or if your desk is really cluttered, it could help, but it could also be a distraction. So maybe just clean up just like a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, and you'll feel accomplished for getting it done. And plus, like I said in a previous video, there's a thing called feng shui, and you have to have your place like a certain way, so that way the energy can move through it smoothly instead of like it being stuck because of all the items and stuff in the way. It really does help just to help clean up like here and there. Not everything has to be super clean and perfect, but at least do a little bit of cleaning and make it a little bit look nicer, and that could help too if the clutter is what the problem is. Also, I'm not condoning smoking weed, but me personally, and I know a lot of other people do too as well, drinking dubs, but we smoke weed to help get some of that creativity. Like, for the way this dude that I saw in that one video explained it, he's like, when I smoke weed, it just helps break those mental barriers in my mind that are holding me back from like writing music. So like when I just have that weed, I don't have to worry about those barriers, that restraint, especially for people who are neurodivergent. Having that resistance to get started on something isn't easy, but when you have weed, it makes it a little bit easier. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, hey, if it helps, it helps. But that's all I have for y'all. So stay legendary, stay beautiful. See you on the next adventure.
Bye, everyone.